to rise and shine. Empower life with Cleopatra. Awaken the best version of you. Oh, 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 oh. Your journey starts today. You've got one life to live. Love yourself, be kind to others, break free and let your spirit soar. Empower life with Cleopatra will help you awaken the best version of you. Empower life with Cleopatra. Oh, 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 oh. Empower life with Cleopatra. Oh, 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 oh.
Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching from. It's so good to be here today. I didn't think I could make it today because feeling a little bit poorly yesterday. But I'm here and the show must go on. Good to see you guys already join in. Put something in the chat. Let me know you're here. Put something in the chat. Let me know you're here. Thank you so much for joining, guys. It's going to be a good one. And sadly, it's the last show for a few weeks. Oh, I'm sad. But actually, I need therapy. That's why. I need therapy to get over the confessions that we've had so far. Seriously, they are so crazy. It's not even funny. They are crazy. So I just need to get myself back together again. I will come back to even more ridiculous confessions. Trust me, I will. But for now, I think I need some therapy. If you know of a good therapy, please let me know. Maureen, sis, thank you so much for joining. I love you. I love you. We had a good time yesterday at the prayer conference at Excel. I'm still trying to, recover from that as well. My throat, as you can hear, I'm a little bit hoarse, but it's okay. I think it's a bit sexy, actually. What do you think? Hi, Maureen. Thank you so much. Whoever else has joined, Lady has joined, the advocates have joined, Tinu has joined, Nolly Cafe has joined. Everybody that's joined, thank you so much. Look, tonight, listen. Oh, Robin. Hi, Robin. Did you say you were point? Yes, I was. I went to an event. It was a lovely event, but at the end of the event, I realized that I was tired even like oh gosh, I was knackered. My knees, I couldn't even get home because my knees started playing up. So it was a bit of a situation, seriously. And yeah, but I'm good. I'm good. I'm here. That's the main thing. Guys, thank you so much for joining. Listen, tonight, let's just talk about tonight, guys. All I can say is brace yourselves. What you're about to hear is raw, it's shocking, it's unforgettable. Two women, two stories that would rip open everything you thought you knew about love, survival, and betrayal. From a young woman in Punjab, India, is it Punjab or Punjab? Forced to marry her rapist to save her father's life, to a woman in Mississippi, USA, who married her own brother, fully aware of the truth. These aren't just stories. Seriously, they are confessions that dare us to confront the darkest corners of humanity. So, guys, stay with me because it's going to be an explosive, emotional, and life changing show. But before we dive in, guys, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already done so. And if you're watching the replay, guys, please drop your thoughts. They're going to actually be in the comments as well. And they will be watching this show because they want to hear from you. They want your advice. Actually, one of them doesn't really care. But she just wanted to offload her chest, I guess. And you will hear from the story. But I'm sure she's still gonna want to hear what your thoughts are about what you think about the whole thing. So please feel free to drop your thoughts and your comments in the chat. Okay, they would appreciate it. So guys, who else is here? Who else is here? Let me see. Oh, okay. Hi guys, thank you so much. Okay, first let's begin. The first one is I married my rapist to save my father. This location. Oh, by the way, I've changed the names and the locations, and I've spoken to them, and they're okay with it. Just because obviously I want to protect their identity, and like I always say in these confession shows, I will protect your anonymity. Okay, so you can send me, keep sending because I'm still gonna have more shows. But anyway, let's progress. So Punjab in India, she says, I was born in a small village on the outskirts of Punjab where honor is everything and silence is the golden rule for women. My name is Amrit Najit, and I was the pride of my family, the first girl in generations to get a college education. My father, a retired army officer, mortgaged our land to pay my school fees. He used to say, you are not just my daughter, Amrit, you are my pride. At university, I kept my head down, studied very hard, and avoided anything that might taint our family's name. But in my final year, something happened that shattered every wall I had carefully built around myself. One evening, while walking back from the library, I was attacked in the alley behind the science building. Three men dragged me into a van. I remember the dirty smell of kerosene and got tar, got, got, got tar, I think that's what it's called, on their breath. They tied my hands. One of them was wearing my university hoodie. I recognized his voice. It was Ravinda, my classmate. Charming, well spoken, son of a wealthy politician. They took turns. I bled. I screamed. They filmed it. I didn't tell anyone at first. I mean, how could I? In my village, a girl who is raped brings shame to her family. Not the rapist, no, but the video leaked. It spread like wildfire on local WhatsApp groups. My world crumbled overnight. My father collapsed in the comments he saw on the clip. He had a heart attack. He couldn't work. He couldn't move. He couldn't even look at me. That's when Ravinder's father, a powerful member of the Legislative Assembly, MLA, showed up to our doorstep. He came not to apologize, but to make an offer. And he said, if she marries my son, we will pay for your father's treatment. We will make the video disappear. Your family's name will be saved. Marry the man who raped me? I told them no. I screamed. I cried. But my mother, she held my face in her hands and said, your father will die, Amrit. Please. So I did it. The wedding was a grotesque affair. No one celebrated. I stood like a statue. She tied the manga sutra around my neck. My rapist, my husband. We moved into his family estate. Every night he reminded me of who I really was, a prisoner. He'd play the video before forcing himself on me again, whispering, this is what got you here, princess. I stopped talking. I stopped dreaming. I stopped living. But something changed when I found out I was pregnant. I didn't want this child. I didn't want any reminder of the monster I was forced to sleep with beside every night. But my mother, over the traditionalist, said it was God's way of blessing this cursed marriage. One night, after another forced act, I snapped. I picked up the heavy lamp beside the bed and I smashed it across his head. He didn't die, but he was hospitalized with a fractured skull. The doctor said he had a fall. I didn't tell anyone the truth. Now I live with this child growing inside me, a child born of violence, a child who might have his father's eyes, and look at myself in the mirror and wonder, am I just as sick for carrying this pregnancy? My father is alive. He walks again, but he avoids looking into my eye. All I need to ask is this: should I keep this child and start a new life? If I abort this baby, am I committing murder or am I finally saving myself? I need answers, please. Help me, guys. Ooh, child. Hi, Kingsley. Thank you so much for joining. Good evening. Good evening, Amaka. Thank you so much for joining. Guys, this is the story. I don't know what to say. I really like, what do you guys think? I mean, I don't know how it works in India. I really don't know how it works in India, but for you to allow your daughter to marry her rapist, I don't have any words. I really do not have any words. I feel for her. Now she's pregnant with this man's child. Should she keep the baby? Guys, let me know, what do you think? Should she keep this baby? Because I don't know how she would look at the child every single day and remember what she went through. How is she going to love that child? Will she love? I guess, when women have babies, what happens is that all of a sudden the emotions, if they had it under negative circumstances, the emotions will just disappear when they see the baby. So maybe that love will change. Who knows? Maybe she will start seeing the baby differently. I don't know. I don't know. Amaka says, unbelievable. It's such a pity. Horrible things happen in this life. Are you telling me? Are you telling me? I mean, the very first person who took her virginity was the one who raped her, and she ended up marrying. How can she even look at the man in the eye? Like, I just pray nobody that I know go through this. I really do. I pray nobody I know go through this, because you wouldn't even wish this on your worst enemy, to be honest. You would not wish this. Ooh, child. It's sad. It's sad. I mean, I will give my own 10 cents worth of advice at the end of the show after I've read the second story. I will say what I feel. Um, but um it breaks my heart for a young lady to go through that. And it will make her feel unloved even by the parents, because they feel, so you traded me to get my father well. So my own sanity was not, it wasn't a sort of concern for you. It wasn't a source of concern for you. It was my father getting better. So I had to marry somebody who raped me. Oh, I don't know. Okay, do the second story. So this was located in Mississippi, USA, and her story is titled, My Husband Was My Brother, and I Knew the Whole Time. Her name is Shyla. So I will start. Like I said, all these people have disguised their identity, okay? And they will be in the chat. Okay, so my name is Shyla, and this is my truth. The one I have never told a soul, not my pastor, not my therapist, not my mother, no one. Because how do you confess that you married your own brother and you actually did it on purpose? I was born in the deep woods of Mississippi, in a dying town with more abandoned churches than jobs. My mama was a waitress with tired eyes and a different man in her bed every 6 months, with my twin brother Shane, and we were inseparable from the start. Two mouths, but one soul. We were poor, dirt poor. We shared a bed until we were 12. We bathed together, longer than most siblings should. There were nights we'd lie awake, pressed shoulder to shoulder, listened to our mama cry. She would cry through the thin walls, wailing. It was the two of us against the world. Things got blurry around 14, when we were 14 years old. You can fill the blank. It not became not just a brother and a sister, but it was more like we fell in love with each other. We were touching one night, kissing, secrets that only made sense in silence we were sharing with each other. We swore it was just curiosity, a phase, but it wasn't. When Child Protective Service took us away at 15, we were split. We had different foster homes, different countries. I got bounced around, passed from one Christian household to another. And she did the Christian in quotes, in inverted commas, from one Christian household to another until I was aged out of the system. I lost track of Shane, or at least I pretended to, because what I didn't tell anyone, not even the social worker with this kind smile, was that Shane and I still wrote letters, hundreds. We created fake names, fake addresses. We planned our reunion like fugitives. At 19, I left Mississippi. I said I was going to college, but it was really for him. Shane had moved to Alabama, working under the name Patrick Muller. When I saw him again after 4 years apart, it was like nothing had changed. Same eyes, the same grin, the same slow, dangerous burn in my chest whenever I looked at him. We started over, pretended to meet fresh at the gas station. We pretended to meet fresh at a gas station. We told people we'd fallen in love at first sight, so nobody would know we were siblings. Nobody questioned, nobody suspected. We moved to Atlanta 6 months later. People told me we looked alike, but I did not pay any attention. I told people we were from opposite ends of Texas. And then we got married at the courthouse. It rained that day. I wore a blue dress. And yes, we were intimate, fully intimate. He was my first, my only. He knew every inch of me because he had memorized it since childhood. We kept our past buried under layers of lies, changed our birthdays, erased our social media. Every time I heard someone mentioned ancestry DNA or 23andMe, my chest would tighten. But we were careful. We kept to ourselves. We made up dead parents. It worked because nobody doubted what we said when we told them our parents were dead. For 8 years, it worked until it didn't. It started small. Shane, Caleb, began to pull away. He'd flinch when I touched him, stare too long at old photos, get drunk, and whisper things like, we were just kids. And I didn't know better. But I did. I knew. I always knew. Last year he left. No notes, no call, just vanished. I didn't know if he's dead or just trying to erase me. And maybe he should. But here's the part no one tells you. When you love someone like that, when you build your life around a lie that you helped create, there's no going back, no clean slate, no redemption. So here I am, 33 years old, married to no one, with a heart full of shame that doesn't stop beating. People ask me why I had never had kids. I say I couldn't. But the truth, I wouldn't risk bringing them being born into a family like mine. Here's my confession. I married my brother. I loved him. I still do. And to be honest, I'll do it again. Because for one moment, one long burning decade, I was seen, I was known, I was loved without judgment. Is that worse than a lie? Or am I just the devil in my own story? You tell me. All I know is I love my brother and I can't change it. I don't know what to say. Do I need help? I don't know. But I guess I feel better for telling you my story. Child. Mm, mm, mm. Okay. Okay. Let's talk about okay, Amaka. Amaka is going thank you for responding to the first story. Amaka says she can have a baby and hand him over to her mom if she's still alive. One day she will grow and accept the child. So, for those of you who are joining for the first time, we talked about the story where a lady married somebody who raped her because her father was sick and they needed medical attention. So, the father of the rapist did a deal, struck a deal with them to allow the daughter to marry um, the son so that they can help the guy with medical treatments. And then she got pregnant. And she doesn't want to keep the child. Well, she's asking if she should. Amaka says she should have the baby, but give the baby to her mother and one day she will grow up to love the child, which is possible. She'll grow up to accept the child. Ryan says, Ryan, thank you so much for joining. Ryan says, it's sad, but not so uncommon. Also met a few people who've experienced similar situations. Really? Okay, okay, okay. Mercy says, what? Mercy, you guys know Mercy is my co-host. By the way, she has uh a TikTok channel that is hot. I mean, she gets hundreds and hundreds, almost thousands of people on the TikTok. So you want to join her TikTok? Mercy, put your TikTok handle on the chat so that they can see it and they join you on the shows that you have. I'm sure they're gonna love it. Okay. Amaka says both of them are insane. Yes, I agree. Both stories are crazy. Why do you think I said I need therapy now? I mean, all the stories so far have just been mind boggling. And Robin says, I agree, Ryan, especially in the US, deep south. Exactly. I was going to say that because especially in that area, they are very religious. They are very religious. So to have that sort of situation happen in a place like that, it's crazy. It's crazy. Maureen says both confessions are deep. Yeah, you telling me. They're just, oh, I really don't know how to handle these stories, honestly. Mercy says, I love my brother too, but as a brother, yeah, that's not okay. It's misplaced love. I couldn't agree with you more, Mercy. I love my brothers. I have a lot of brothers. I have even though some of them are from different daddies. My daddy was a rolling stone, to say the least, was a very good looking man. And so ladies loved him. What can I say? And a lot of them had babies for him. Um, but I love all of them, but not in that way, not in the same way as Shayla. I think her name is Shayla. Um, not in the same way. I love them as a brother. All my brothers are quite good looking men. I never see them anything other than you're my brother. I don't understand why somebody would have that sort of I don't get it. I don't get it. I really do not get it. Guys, this is crazy. What are your thoughts? Advise them on what they should do. We know this is wrong. Advise them though. Robin says they are very religious, but in a cult way, not genuine religion. They're full on hypocrites to 99% of religious values. Yeah, I mean, you know, I guess, you have a point. I don't know myself, but I know I've heard stories. I know what they're very good at is marrying multiple wives. They have what they call the sister wives thing. So they do a lot of marriage. They can even marry two sisters or marry three sisters or whatever, and marry many wives because they believe in just procreating and all that. Um, I know I've heard and I've seen TV programs to that effect, so I know that that happens. But I did not think for one second that this would, I didn't think that somebody would do this. Um, Amaka says the two siblings are mad. What will they tell their children? Something mysterious may begin to happen in the future, and they may not know why they are going through such experiences. This is true. This is true. But you know something? If they repent, they accept Christ into their Lord, into their lives as Lord and Savior, God can forgive them and wipe away just wipe away their sins. And they know that they will not go back to it again. God can wipe away their sins and they can start again, and their lives will be full because they've repented and they've given their lives to Christ. It's when they want to continue, like this girl, she doesn't look like she's sorry. She doesn't look like, because she says she loves him and there's nothing anybody, she loves him. If that's the case, I can't help you, my darling. You just need to repent and give your life to Christ, because this is wrong on all shades. It's just wrong in all shades. And Mercy says, and my brother is a handsome man. We were only a year apart, but no way to love romantically. Exactly. Exactly. And Amaka says, to have peace and forgiveness from God, they should come out and confess before it's too late, or things worse begin to happen, or worse things begin to happen. Yeah, you're right. Like I said, yeah, they just need to confess their sins and don't even go back to it. Don't confess just for the sake of it and then go and do it again. Confess and completely repent from it. And like you said, they should confess, or else worse things will happen. So yeah, you're totally correct. And Ryan says, for that sibling, aka the incest one, which is the last where I married my brother, intimacy, I'm tempted to say, is due to lack of good adult influence or interference. You are right. And remember her background though. Her background, they were very poor. I don't think they had a father. Their mother was always crying every night. She was wailing literally, and they could hear her from the thin walls, as she said. They were crying, they were poor. And then social services took them away. So they were when the parents, when her mother was when their mother was crying, they got closer. I guess maybe the poverty or the loneliness or whatever made them closer, and then they started experimenting with themselves, I guess. However, it got more and more, but they did not have any sexual intercourse until they were 19, and they were at different parts because they were adopted. Remember, they were adopted when they were, was it 14 or something like that? They were adopted. And then they were passed from one home, one Christian, like you said, one Christian home to the other and all that. And then when they reunited, then they became intimate. And she said in full, like they have been nursing this thing in their hearts for a long time. And like you said, when parents don't raise their kids in the proper way, this is what happens. In something a little bit different, in a story that is slightly different from this, but it still talks about raising your kids properly. There's a story I was watching on social media. This girl, she had this relationship with a guy called um, Elijah. Yes, Elijah was the guy's name, right? And she was dating this guy when she was 17. So for 2 years they've been dating, and then she got pregnant for the guy. When she got pregnant for the guy, she took the pregnancy. There's another classmate of hers called Elijah as well, who is a mixed race guy, good looking young boy, also 19, and took her luggages, told her mother she was pregnant for this good looking mixed race guy. Because the other Elijah she got pregnant for is a dark guy, very, very dark, like mahogany dark, right? And she did not want the guy to be the father of the child. The most ridiculous, insane thing I've ever heard or I've ever seen. And she went over to this guy, and the mother and father actually was beating this mixed race boy up because they actually believed that he was the one that impregnated. The guy said, I am a virgin. I've never even been with a girl in my life. The girl that he's staying with, this fair Elijah is staying with, took him to the hospital to verify whether he was really a virgin or not. Because she said, look, if you are the one that did it, we tell the girl to come and stay with us. We'll have, the baby and we'll look after the girl. But if you did not, then we'll sue this man for, harassment, defamation of character, harassment, and everything else. They went to the hospital, did the verification. The guy was confirmed a virgin. The father of the girl who got pregnant for the black guy, took the guy again, did not believe that he was still a virgin, took the mixed race guy to the hospital again to confirm. And it was also confirmed to another hospital. It was then she now admitted that it was actually the dark Elijah that got her pregnant. But she doesn't want to marry the dark guy because he's dark. She wants to marry the fair guy. Of the girl, the mother of the girl had the audacity to say that she does not want her daughter to marry the dark guy. That she would have preferred, she wants the daughter to marry the light-skinned guy. And every single time she's talking, she'll say, I don't want her to marry the dark guy. I don't want her to marry dark Elijah. I want her to marry light Elijah. She said, even though you know that this person is not the father of the child, you want to pin. And then they said, how did you raise this girl? And the girl is so rude. She is so rude. She is so rude. She'll tell the people, the guy, shut up. She'll tell the host, shut up. The girl that is interviewing them, it's not your business. It's my life. It's my body. She'll tell her parents, you can do what you want. And the girl's mother supported them that since you cannot marry the light-skinned Elijah, I want you to abort the child because we don't want a dark baby in the family. I want you to abort the child. And it's my daughter's life. She'll do what she wants with it. The father said, no, she has to marry the boy. The mother said, no, your decision doesn't matter here. Home training, missing completely. The girl has no manners, but she took it from her mom because her mother is so disrespectful as well. So what you were saying, Ryan, is very true. When parents don't raise their kids well, that's exactly what happens. It's exactly what happens. And I was surprised because these are Nigerians. This is not like a foreign, this is a Nigerian parent that's acting like, because Nigerian parents, Nigerian mothers, they don't play. They don't take nonsense. They would deal with you. I don't know how she got her behavior from this woman because she didn't raise that girl well. So I totally agree with you, Ryan. Um, and yeah, Ryan also says quite a few cousins and even fewer siblings have had crushes on each other and indulged in some sort of physical acts as kids. This confused feeling of love do fade as they get older. Okay? I mean, if you've seen that before, okay, I can't argue with that because these things happen as children because you're still experimenting or whatever, or you're growing up and you don't really know what you're doing. But like you said, it fades as they get older. But in this girl's case, even though the guy now realized and said, look, this is ridiculous. We were young then. We didn't know what we're doing, but now we're older. And he left. Remember, he said she said he left. But she doesn't care. She still wants him. She still wants the guy. That's insanity, if you ask me. Maureen says they need to move far away from each other and learn to find love outside of each other. 100%. Remember, she actually said that the guy left. The guy has left, but she is probably still looking for him. And remember, even at the end, she didn't say, I'm sorry, I realized my mistakes. I don't want this guy anymore. I'm going to just try and rebuild my life or whatever. She didn't even say that. I mean, what did she say even? She didn't say that. She was not sorry. She wasn't sorry. She said, what did she say? She said, um, I married my brother. I still love him. I still do. And I'll do it again. Because for one moment, one long burning decade, I was seen, I was known, I was loved without judgment. Is that the worst lie? Or am I just the devil in my own story? I don't really know. I don't care because I still love him, but you tell me, what do you think? But, she said she was confessing because she just feels like she wants to tell her story. Was not because she's sorry or she wants any help. I don't understand. Seriously, I really don't understand. Mercy says, I just keep reading the headline. I married my brother. Like how? Some love needs to be shut down. 100%. Some love needs to be shut down. Like, this is incest. This is an abomination. And like Ryan said earlier, if you were doing it when you were younger or you were experimenting, like he said, sometimes you're confusing love for certain, and you don't know what you're doing. Okay, we can forgive you. But now that you are an older lady now, you're an adult, and you're not even sorry. Mercy says, look at this, just because of skin tone, yeah, just because of skin tone, yeah. As about the story I was telling you about the guy who the parents of the girl he got pregnant don't want him because he's dark. For me personally, I always say the darker the berry, the sweeter the juice. Like, what's wrong with a black person? What's wrong with a dark person? Nothing wrong with it. What's the problem? What is the problem? Mercy says, at Ryan, yes, I've had clients speak more about being molested or experimented with as with a cousin, which impacted them mentally. I found it hard to come to terms with what they've done. They found it hard to come to terms with what they've done or experienced. Yes, please, those people are sorry. They can't believe they did what they did. And they're sorry for what they've done, and they wish they could turn back the clock, the hands of time, and relive and do things differently. That's okay. A lot of us, as we were growing up, we may have made mistakes that we not, that we regret. I don't know. Nobody is perfect. But when you realize your mistake and you are actually on the way to becoming a better version of yourself and changing your way, that's a different thing. Like the first story, Amrit, she needs help. She says, please help me. She was raped. Yes, it was something bad. And now she's pregnant. She wants to abort the child. She's fighting within herself. She doesn't really know what to do and all that. That's understandable. She needs help. This one, she doesn't even need the help that we want to offer. Put your comments in the chat. And also put what advice you think she should, both of them, advise them. Should Amrit abort the baby and just move on, pretend it never happened, have the marriage annulled? Should Shyla, should she carry on, looking for her husband because the guy has left the house, and continue with the relationship? Or should she confess to somebody and sort of try to repent from what she's done and turn a new leaf? Ryan says that's where the adult interference of shutting down such relationships before it gets out of hands. Exactly. That's where the adult interference comes in. And parents, seriously, you need to watch your children. You need to always, if you have to become a monitoring spirit for your children, do that. Not just within, the confines of your home, but even with relatives, with friends, when they say, no, no, go for a sleepover or whatever. You need to be very, very watchful. This girl that I talked about getting pregnant for the what's in it, Elijah, and once the fair Elijah, she would tell her mother she's going to night vigil. And the mother would say, okay, yeah, fine, bye bye. But she wasn't going to night vigil. The mother did not think it was okay, or the father. Apparently, the father owns a business where he travels out all the time, so the father was not around. As a matter of fact, the girl, as we speak, this is a true story. So it's life as we speak. They're still trying to resolve it. She's just about 3 weeks, almost a month pregnant. So the father was away for that long when this happened. So it was when he came back, he now realized what happened, right? And he's saying, you're keeping the baby, you're marrying this guy. Funny enough, the parents of this guy are saying, we actually loved this girl when we met her the first time. And we wanted they actually said they wanted their son to have a child at 19 because he's the only child. This Dark Elijah was he's the only son, and they want to be grandparents on time, so that they can have many babies through him, So they were happy when he told them that somebody, this girl is pregnant for him. But when she started displaying her character, they said, we're not marrying her again. We don't want her. We don't want this kind of girl in this one because she will be disrespecting everybody. So what Ryan said also is still, it's still about upbringing. You know, Maureen says he needs to stay away, far away from her. Hopefully, with time, she has to find love somewhere else, and leave her brother alone. Totally. He needs to stay away. So did you, like Shayla, your brother needs to stay away from you. Okay? Your brother needs to stay away from you as far as he possibly can. And then hopefully you will start forgetting about him, and you can find love somewhere else. Okay? That's one advice for you right there. um, Robin says, bear in mind, the leader of the free world has talked of lusting after his own daughter, and he is backed by the evangelicals in the South who want to repeal all women's right or repeal all women's right while still being convicted continuously for rape and everything. Well, look, Robin, the only reason why he seems to be the is because he's out there. And I don't agree or subscribe to anything he's doing. I'm not in agreement with anything he's doing. But remember that there's so many of them out there though. There are so many of them out there, from politicians to even fathers who are abusing and molesting their kids. I'm going to talk about this. I show one of my shows soon. Um, And no father is going to come up or come out to say, yes, I did it, or it's never going to happen. I know that for a fact. But some of the stories that I actually have, like I said, I have got more confessions coming. And this is going to be one of them, right? Where the father actually admitted to doing it. But he's not going to come out to say, yeah, it was me. Okay. So there are people who do this. There are people who still do this, carry out these acts. I don't understand. So it's not just this person you're talking about. I'm not going to mention his name. It's not just this person you're talking about. It's a lot of them. Even here in this country where we live in the United Kingdom, they still do it. Everywhere, all over the world, Africa, everywhere. There are people who do this. And the problem is they are not caught. They need to be caught. Karma has to come quick for them so that they can, get their comeuppance. That's what I'll say. Amaka says this guy on his own side can confess to someone and seek help. I mean, speak to someone to go to her and advise her to stop. That's a good advice as well. I don't know whether he's going to be watching this because he doesn't know about it. He's only heard that confessed, but I think it's a good one. If he really wants to stop and he wants to, because he cannot run away from it. He just needs to stop. And he needs to talk to somebody about it. Maybe a preacher, maybe a pastor, maybe a counselor, somebody who can help him. And actually, maybe a therapist who can help him, you know, I don't know, reset his brain. And I think she herself needs a therapist, to be honest. I think she also needs a therapist because this is crazy. On all counts, it's crazy. It's ridiculous, So I totally agree with everyone, with what you guys are saying. Um, I mean, I will give my 2 cents worth of advice as well. But I still need you guys to keep commenting on what they should do. And for those of you who are joining who haven't subscribed, please go ahead and do so. But Empower Warriors, tonight, yeah, we've witnessed two women carrying secrets that could crush the soul. Honestly, whew, Amrit, you're the one from Punjab. You've been forced into a life built on violence and silence. Amrit, seriously, I feel for you. I really feel for you. But hear me clearly. You do not owe your rapist a marriage. You don't have to stay in that marriage. My co-host, if you agree with me, my imperials, please put it in the chat. Everything I'm going to say here, please put it in the chat if you agree with me. If you don't, put it in the chat as well. I don't have to be right all the time because I'm not always right, right? But I'm going to just say my 2 cents worth, and then you can also chime in as well. Please do. But you don't owe your rapist a marriage, and you do not owe the world a child born of pain. It's your choice. I will not subscribe to getting rid of a child because that's a soul. So for me personally, I will not subscribe to it. I will not advise you to do that because you don't know what that child will become in the future. You don't know if that child is going to be the president of India in the future or it's going to be one big, great person. You don't know. So I will not subscribe you to get rid of that child. But it's your choice. Whatever you choose to do, we'll only give you our advice. You make your mind up. But I would say that your solution lies in reclaiming yourself. Seek shelter. If you need to go, like you said, you run away, if you seek shelter, if you want to confide in women's support organizations, Mercy. I mean, if Mercy was in India, she would advise you on what to do because she's a mental health, advocate and stuff like that, you know. Um, and we can advise you here anyway, but you know that healing begins the moment you choose yourself over anything or anyone. Choose yourself over fear, over tradition, over anything. At the end of the day, you have to look after number one, and number one is you. All right. So whether you keep the child or not, let that the choice that you make, let it be yours. I don't have to tell you what to do. All right. But I can only advise you. Personally, I will not advise you to abort the child. But you have to make your own choice. But we can only advise you. Yeah. Right. Let me see what my audience are saying. Empower Royals, what you saying? Robin says those who impose restrictions on those or should protect those are often the guilty of those exact crimes. This is true. We've had a few stories here of priests who have excused serious transgressions and crimes. Yeah, it's not just Christians though, Robin. It's not just Christians. And I'm not going to mention other religions or particular religion, but I'm going to say other religions also are just as guilty. I'm telling you. The thing is, the issue with other religions is that they're very good at protecting their religion. They're very good at protecting themselves. They're very good at hiding stuff. Okay? It's like this honor thing that this Shyla was talking, no, not Shyla, Amrit, the girl in India, was talking about when she said the guy, because of this honor thing, the guy came and said, the father of the guy who raped her came and said, in order to protect our name, let's keep it in the family. We'll marry you, just don't say anything, and we'll make social media go away or whatever. We don't know what religion they are, but they've kept that. So Christians are very open. And not only that, there are people who actually like to always, you know, everything is Christian, Christian, Christian. They do this, they do that, which is I'm not excusing because I know there are priests who've done some devious, horrible things to young boys and girls. So I'm not excusing that. But I'm just trying to explain that some people are good at covering their crimes more than others, and Christians are out there. So there seems to be like, oh, it's only Christians, but it's not just Christians alone. Other religions are just as bad. It's just you have to know God for yourself. That's the main thing. You have to have that relationship with God for yourself and forget about what people are saying because, nowadays you cannot really trust anyone but God, right? Um, Amaka says, thank you, Bumi, for joining. Thank you so much. It's good to see you. Amaka says, She definitely doesn't have to be in the marriage, but the parents are forcing her. She should invite women's organizations that deal with this kind of problem. They will take her away and settle her. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I agree with you. And when she continues, she says, don't abort the child because he is carrying destiny. These kinds of children turn out to be great in life. He is innocent. 1,000,000%. Amaka, I 1,000,000% agree with you. She shouldn't abort that child. Seriously, if you look at a lot of the celebrities that we have in this world, to be honest with you, when they tell you their backstory, you will find out that a lot of them actually came from very not so not so attractive background. Put it very nicely. Some of them came from a very, very bad, horrible background. Some of them they were adopted. Some of them the parents split up when they were young. Some of them they were abused. I mean, look at Oprah, for instance. She was abused by our own relative. Is it a cousin or a brother? Okay. So these things happen, but they turn out to be great people. So your circumstances doesn't have to determine your destiny. All right. It doesn't have to determine what you become. You can actually make something out of yourself. You can turn your pain into something pleasurable, into a testimony. Okay. Robin says, oh, I know it's not just Christians. Any religion has hundreds of years of practice. This is true. Yeah. So it's not just Christians. You're right. Maureen says to Amrit, once the baby is born, you either bond with the baby or not. At this stage, the choice is yours. Go with your heart and what gives you peace of mind. Totally. I agree with you. I agree with you, Maureen. You're right. Robin says it is just those who should protect the weakest of others. They shouldn't be the ones who protect the criminals. I agree with you. It's what really hurts me most, Robin. When these people are caught, instead of them to face the music, instead of them to be reprimanded, locked away, and throw the keys away or something, somehow they get away with it. I don't understand why they get away with it. So I see you on that, Robin. I see you on that. It shouldn't be the case. It shouldn't be the case. I was watching something earlier, and this guy arrested somebody, and he told the relatives, the family of the guy he arrested, said, "I've arrested your son, your brother, but I would never release him, and you don't need to know where he is. I'm not going to tell you where he is, and even if you go to the police station, I've taken care of them. They will not help you, no matter where you go. He's going to be with me. He's going to be reprimanded. He's going to be in the prison for at least 6 months to 1 year, and there is nothing you can do about it. If it's money, I've given them money. There's nothing you can do about it." So money buys justice. I mean, I don't have to tell you where this person is from. I'm sure those of you who you will know where I'm talking about. Okay. This is what happens in life. Some people think they're above the law. At least you can give him, the right to call a lawyer, to call his family, to say, this is where I am. He says, no way. Even the police that are supposed to actually enforce that act, they refused the guy to call a lawyer or call a relative. So the guy is in prison without any chance of being released, and there's nothing the family can do about it. Can you believe that? This is life. Yeah. So guys, this is, let me give my 2 cents worth about Shayla as well. You know, to Shayla, remember Shayla is the one from Mississippi who married her brother, and she's not sorry about it. Shayla, listen, and yeah, I know you're going to come back to the chats as well, even if you're not watching, because I don't know what time it is in America now. It's probably like in the morning or something now. But listen, you lived in a secret that grew from pain. I understand that, right? Because obviously how you grew up was not the best. You were abandoned, you moved from foster home to foster home or whatever, and there was a lot of abandonment and survival, I guess. But love built on lies can never heal you. Seriously. This is not even love. I don't even know what to call this. This is not love. I think your way forward is to confront the truth, release the shame, because this is a shameful thing. You need to seek professional help that will allow you to rebuild a life that is anchored in honesty and peace. Seriously, you have to be honest with yourself. You have to let go of the past, which is this, whatever you call this marriage, that is the most ridiculous thing ever. You need to let go of it. And you cannot chain yourself to a marriage that's not even supposed to be there in the first place. Okay? You are not even guilty. That's the thing. You don't feel guilty. But I would advise you to start over. Like Maureen said, you need to forget about this whole thing and go somewhere else where you can start again. Or let the guy just move on and then he seeks help. You start all over again so that and go somewhere so you don't have to remember or think about everything, you know. Even if it means that you have to just forget about everybody, even your family, at least just to get yourself back together. Because when you walk in truth, you know, truth sets you free. And no more lies, because I'm sure you're not. Why are you sending the confession? You're sending the confession because you're not at peace. You know that what you've done is wrong, even though you're not sorry, but you felt like you needed to just let it off your chest. If you're letting it off your chest, we will tell you right now, yes, it's a good thing you've let it off your chest, but you need to change. You need to stop this. It's wrong. In the sight of God, in the sight of man, it is wrong. Seriously, you need to stop this. Um, that's my 2 cents what for of advice for you guys, and to you, my empower royals. Honestly, sorry, these confessions are a proof that no matter how dark, twisted, or painful our stories are, there's always a way forward. All right, there's always a way forward. We can, if we really want things to turn, things to change, there's always a way forward, especially when you've come from a dark background, like these two people, making these confessions. Don't keep quiet, because silence destroys. It destroys. It really does. Secrets destroys even more. But when you are courageous and you come out like these people have, you free yourself. You free your mind. You free, because the Bible says you shall know the truth and the truth will set you free. So you free yourself when you actually confess. You know. But I'll ask you guys tonight, my royals. If you were in their position, though, what would you do? What would you choose? Would you want to remain a prisoner of your shame, because both acts were shameful in a way? Would you want to just keep that all to yourself, or you would tell somebody? Would you tell somebody? Would you confess? Would you tell somebody? Would you seek help? We're advising people, which is what we should do. But if the shoe was on our own foot, what will we do? Seriously, I'm asking that question, right? And it'd be nice to see what you guys say, really, as well. If it was you, what would you do? If it was me, what will I do? God, first of all, I pray that that never happens to me. God forbid. For the first one that was raped, I personally do not believe in abortion. I do not believe in abortion. So I will keep the child. I will keep the child. That's my own. I will keep the child. Yes, it might be traumatic, especially if the child now looks like the dad, like very much like the dad. It'll be traumatic. However, like Maureen said, after a while, you will grow to love that child, because this is your blood. And you push that child out. You carried that child for 9 months. You will grow to love the child. Okay. That's what I will do for the first one. For the second one, who married her brother, that's not even going to happen. So I'm not even going to answer that, whether I will, what will I do or whatever, you know. But even if in the most ridiculous, mad, unbelievable way that ever happened, I would definitely seek help. In fact, I will go for deliverance. Let one powerful man of God lay their hands and cast out whatever that is, because it's not right. I will not just seek therapy. I will go for deliverance. Let somebody pray and cast it out. Seriously, that's what I'll do. So, guys, it's been lovely, lovely, lovely. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. This is the last Empower Life Confessions for this series, but we will come back again with more confession. Like I said, even the ones that are coming, I'm just trying to water it down now with these stories. All right. Wait for the next ones that are coming in a few weeks. Wait, you will not believe it. All right. You will not believe it. So, guys, Amaka says, God forbid that this should happen to me. I will keep the child. I will run away from that house. I will secretly speak to an organization that will help me. Yes, I think we are in alignment on that one. I agree with you 100%. I agree with you totally. You know, but guys, it's been lovely, lovely, lovely talking and just sharing with you. And thank you all so much for your contributions, my royals. You will never, you don't disappoint. You always come through for me. You always come through. You're always here, engaging, keeping the show going and lively. This is what I love you, my royals. Thank you so much. I love you so much for joining tonight. Keep the conversations going. Please share this video with somebody who hasn't seen it. Encourage them to subscribe as well. And if come back to watch it again, just come back and watch it again, right? And guys, I love you for watching tonight. Thank you so much for joining. Until next time, stay bold, stay kind, but most of all, stay empowered. I love you all so much. See you next time. Mwah. Bye, guys. Bye.
Empower life with Cleopatra. Awaken the best version of you. Unlock your true potential. Empower your mind, body, and soul. Live with intentions, live with a purpose. Empower your dreams, make it happen today. No matter your age, rise and shine. Live boldly, live authentically. It's your time to rise and shine. Empower life with Cleopatra. Awaken the best version of you. Your journey starts today. You've got one life to live. Love yourself, be kind to others, break free and let your spirit soar. Empower life with Cleopatra. Will help you awaken